My dear friends, thank you for coming. We made a fun, previously a joke. So the world is going through a lot of changes in the last 5 years. It's more pronounced after the GFC. Whoever knew about uh, what happened, there is no clear-cut understanding in the community about what is happening. Okay, we forget about all those things. Coming to the proposition of employment and education, there is a lot of gap, and the recent forecast about GDP and employment potential in IT sector, everything is falling down. Yesterday, Detroit City has filed a bankrupt petition. So what is happening in the West and how it is affecting India and China? So previously we thought globalization uh, was the ultimate end, but we don't know how to make it. There are shortcomings, but we are at the crossroads. What we can do as a professor or a lecturer or a principal or a university director or university vice chancellor. Previously, you collectively, for the sake of the society, produce a lot of students, and when you hear only 5% of them or 1% of them got some kind of very good jobs, and the rest 99% have got something to live on, not a very good job or something. What was your feeling? So in the West, it used to be 4%, 3% unemployment rate, but in the East, it used to be a lot of potential human brains are there, but they were not used by the society. Even in the West, when they talked about 4%, 3%, 5% unemployment rate, we live there, we know the truth. Truth is far from what the general predictions or projections are. That means nobody is accounting for the underemployment. So the top level, okay, I give you the figures. We are not discussing here about the problems of the society, but only few tips of the problems. If I make you understand, then only it's easier for us to go up. So the top 5%, 10%, they get a salary of millions, and the lower end, if they get 25,000, 30,000, 40,000, that hardly is enough to pay off their mortgages or rentals. Then you put them together and you get a GDP, personal income, national income, average income of 75,000. 55,000. It doesn't reflect the individuals. So if we just take away the if we are squaring those figures, take away the top 5%, take away the lower 5%, the figures that are coming up are no more than 30,000, 40,000. That's hardly enough for the living. So false propaganda, everything that made us believe that this is the way to go forward. But we find most of the problems were just because we rely totally on corporates, totally on governments to give us job or something. So it comes down to that. So how many people are there in the world, and how only few corporates, very few percentage of people can think about them and provide employment to them and give customers what they want. So it's the figures are not working that way. In India, we got talent. The problem was about generically we understood everything. Specialization was lacking, and we didn't understand the uniqueness. As we know, we got uniqueness. Our Vedas say that. We know how Advaita says each one is a god. All those things we know, but we didn't put that into resourceful employment. That means um, so some diversion. So this is happening. We are coming back. So if we rely on the current system to provide employment to your students, and you're trying to teach the same thing again, probably this is changing quite a lot now. So what we can do now is we recognize first that each one is unique. Each person, each student of you, each student, if they are listening here, we first have to acknowledge they are unique. One. Second thing, uniqueness so far have been taken as a hobby, and they were pursuing some kind of uh, training or vocational vocation to go and get an employment to earn their living. This has totally changed. We now try to make their uniqueness as their source of income. We just start. We don't want to change everything, but this is the trend. We can't change or alter the trend. Everybody understood each one is unique and they got talents. The corporate cannot provide them employment to utilize that unique skill to the advancement of the society. So society wants these many unique people to provide them unique services so they can choose, and the society is prepared to pay. So in that case, the organizational structures so far we have been seeing where corporations, and I mean we are just talking about them as companies or businesses. The other structure was religious institutions, societies. They are non-profit societies. They want to help the community. The third is government. So these three were the sectors that took advantage of the human resources, and they tried to provide the services needed to the society. But now in the GFC, we found out the inadequacy of the totality. I don't say they provided service excellent, very good, it works so far, but the problem is it cannot work alone hereafter. So we need some supplements, some additions. But I tell you frankly, the supplements or additions that we are talking about is going to take over the organizations. So this will be the main source of provision of service and products, replacing the bigger corporate structure, government sectors, and these philanthropic societies, because the central organization that is deciding on the basis and all others are working on that, that has only limited thing. I mean the profit motive, all those things didn't work well. That is showed in the GFC. So I don't want to go into controversies. What we can do now is enable in a little way. We are very small, so we can think only small, but small beginning can open up a lot of things. In East, how we are encouraging uniqueness. I think it's very difficult. People try to tell their children or student, "Hi, look at him and be like him." So it backfires on us. So how can we provide a uniqueness? We have to sit with the student or um, your ward or anybody who is younger, and we have to identify what they can do. Hundreds, and it need not be in their course of studies. It can be in different ways. I just tell you a difference. We were not in the last few decades, we were not allowed to think logically and provide solution. Rather, this is my one interpretation. I don't represent clear.com. I don't represent any organization. So I am just an individual. This is whatever I'm saying is my opinion. You take whatever is appropriate to you. But my core point will really benefit you. I'm 100% sure about it. I don't want to bluff because I want to please people. I was just coming in a park. I mean, we were just walking through to a pharmacy, and there was nursing or doctor attached to that. So we three friends were just walking on that. We all the three of us had flu and cold, because the weather is not that great. One of my friend who is working in health sector, he immediately went to the doctor. The doctor saw him, and here the charges are borne by government. If we have to pay the charge, it's about $120 for the consultation you would have paid. And he got the report and other things. Doctor prescribed him something. So he went to the pharmacy, got a medicine, and he came with it, and he thinks he'll get well in 3 or 4 days. That's okay. The other friend, he went to the pharmacy straight, and he asked the pharmacist, what can I take? She gave him some syrup and some normal lozenges or whatever it is. He bought them at 1/4 of the price the first person paid. I didn't buy both of them, but we were coming back. On the road, when we were coming, that was in my mind before. That's why I didn't go there. There were some eucalyptus trees just were there, and I don't even need to pick anything. The leaves have fallen all over, so I took a bunch of because we are not allowed to pluck leaves or anything in this country. It's somebody's property. Nobody can touch. So whatever has fallen, I've taken. I've been snubbing with that. I've just crushed it, and I did like that. And I took the entire bunch to home and just put it in hot water. I made it a little bit hot. I just put a towel upon me, and I just breathed in. And the 2 days after, the three of us met, and the first person who got medicine, he said he went to the doctor again, and because it was not cleared, he gave another medicine, and he spent another $125. And the second person who went to the pharmacy, he said that medicine worked only one day. Next day he went back and got another medicine. But think about it, my cold is gone. So this is the way we are not allowed to think. The eucalyptus is there in all the medicines. So we don't know how the medicine is coming and what are the components inside. That's another. That's a problem. In another instance, so what about this particular knowledge of just squeezing the eucalyptus if it is available, or a mint leaf, you can swallow, or a ginger piece, put into your, how beneficial is this information? So far, our grandparents or some elderly people were just telling these things without any reward. If they tell, the person who goes to them may or may not listen and do it, and he'll just go to the pharmacy instead. So because we didn't charge for this kind of information, one thing, that elderly person still is starving without money. The second person is unable to use because he thinks only pharmacists or the doctors can help him. I don't say they are, I mean, there are 2 or 3 ways of doing things, but if we just encourage all these elderly people who have knowledge to just go in the go under the earth after some time without realizing that they are wanted to the society, then what will happen to the societies? We'll just have robots just teaching us this is the way and we'll go it that way. So that's very hard to understand. The second thing that uh, that occurred to me. One friend, he gave some money to buy for something. Okay, we just keep it $50. He gave to his wife and children to go and pick up, buy whatever they wanted, and in addition he asked them to buy a small present for a friend's child. What happened is, when they went to the shop, they found something good and they bought the entire a very good gift for the child that they are visiting that day. So they came up with only that gift, and whatever they wanted to buy, they didn't buy. So what that friend did, okay, this is normal. If it happened to you, what you would have done, just imagine. That's it. You go there and finished. You forget your own wife and children suffered because you wanted to give somebody. So somebody benefited, somebody lost. So this is not going to help their mindset in the long run. What happens next time you give like that, they won't go. So this friend, he is different. Whatever we are talking today is, you don't need to sacrifice anything. Two people can go live together, live well. They are not competitors for each other. When son grows up, if he himself is taught to grab a job because his father will retire. So who said father retiring at 60, 50 cannot earn? He can sit in the house and he can earn more than what he earned in his job. This is a change scenario. You can do anything online, anything. I mean, I'm going about it in detail. Don't think about the monthly job. It is okay for the beginning. You can go for that. The problem is, we don't know, each sector, each industry is falling. We don't know the companies will be there tomorrow or not. So this kind of situation is there. Governments are falling. bankruptcies, petitions filed. Each one is in Europe. All countries are facing deficit, and they bind their citizens for the next 50 years. In that scenario, how do you think the businesses can strive and businesses can thrive and give employment? So it's hard to trust something else will happen and sit and waiting and competing for one job or the other. But you can do whatever you want from your wherever you are sitting. So micro job sites have come up, and now we are talking about macro job. It's not macro, it's a mini micro job, and this is a medium job sites where you can put your services as unique as it can be for $30, $40, $50, and you need to be trained. I mean, children need to be trained not about the skill. That skill set we are talking about is there in each and every person. We have to dig it out and find out whether how it can be made very profitable. It can be made as a profitable thing for him. So it is not that lack of skill is the problem for unemployment. It is the know-how of how to use that unique skill to earn money is the problem. So we got that expertise, we can explain, and we can, when we talk to students or when we talk to children or professors, they can understand. I'm going back to the story. So that person, my friend, when he got that gift in his hand, and he went to the neighbor. He said, hey, this is $50 gift my family bought for me. This is the last day of the specials. So tomorrow if you go there, you have to buy it for $120. It's true. I mean, he is not lying. He won't lie actually. So 120. What if I give it to you for $90? So you earn $30, I earn $40, so that I can pay to my family also to buy their own stuff apart from this gift I am going to give to my friend's child. So the neighbor refused. He went to the next. After 10 houses, he already sold that thing. It took him only 20 minutes, and he already got $90 in his hands, and he gave that for $90 to his wife, and he asked her to go back to the shop and buy that $50 one plus $40 for them to buy whatever they wanted. So this is how the skill set he got was sell. He could selling is not about lying or anything. Opportunity cost, you have to explain the opportunity of buying, so you make everybody benefit by that, so you can become a salesman. So in India, how they understood sales, I don't know. In a sale, everybody should benefit, then it can be a good sales and everybody will buy it. If you just try to talk about the product and it becomes useless for the customer, this we understood. So this is story number 3. 2, that explains a unique way of making money. Money is not very difficult to make if we have the right kind of attitude towards or understand our own uniqueness. So in colleges we teach so many things. They undergo a course or so. I mean, that's different. Once they finish it, let them try their job and they can go further. But when they are studying, why should they rely on the parents? Why? How can they pay their fees? So we can show a way where they can put their unique skills for sale again and again. It can make money. So they didn't the old ways of working hours, all those things change now. Same way a production system is happening. When once the model is designed, the design is done, the project undergoes a lot of changes. Once it's finished, it goes in the production line and the manufacturing takes place, and immediately that the manufacture takes place, and immediately the sales department, marketing department takes over, and it's sent, and the product cycle is kept on, so that uh, production after production, sale after sale, the company is getting money. Same way, the individual talents or services are now marketed all over the world as a unique product. So there is a big understanding of the changes happening to the services sector. Service, each one service is unique. You can market it to the entire world. There is always people, there are always groups of people who are wanting your service. So from we the production system, Kanban system, just all those things can be applied to individual services and goods. I mean, we are not talking about goods at the moment. So this is the change. So how we are going to take it up? So we propose to talk to and make the top 100 students, or we want to, this is the way we want to proceed. We want to target a city, few cities in India, few cities in Australia. So we talk to the student community, the lecturers and professors, directors, initially to get their inputs, and then we are sending you brochures to take up X or Y number of students. They are enrolled, and they will have a 1 day to 7 day workshop to understand what we're talking about as a unique thing and how they can market it. We are not talking about one platform to sell. We are talking about selling it at any cost. eBay, how students can cooperate with each other to do those things. Amazon, eBay, YouTube, Facebook, whatever the modern IT platforms, social networking engines, it can all help them. So we are talking about 300 and more than 300 micro job sites come once the talent is put in clear.com, it can be immediately put in another 360 micro job sites. So it's totally web visible. We talk about in totality. We are not just talking about one product and the service that we are making. We want this to be the beginning of our student community or job seeker community, or the elderly people uh, who are thrown out of employment, who lost their job. So we want to create a platform for them to sell their uniqueness without the structures of business, without the structures of government, without it is in addition to all of them. If they can get into these structures, if they can get into the organization, that's fine and well. But we talk about being out of that as an individual separate person, you can sell that. So we want to take X or Y number of students in a district or a region or a college, university, and train them. They, at the end of the training, they'll be totally in a position to understand their uniqueness, and after we create a plan, whereas these students who are trained by us will train the other student, so it's a chain of events happening. So there is a fees attached to that training we are going to give, and we give, it's not just a training, this is not just an education, this is a way of self-employment, putting together. Instead of saying you go and approach this for um, capital, this for, I mean, they don't need a capital, we are giving this kind of training and a way forward to put their efforts without further money. We are not seeking here about investment, we are not talking about somebody going 8 hours doing 8 hours a job a day. This is just casually, whatever time they can do, whenever they can do, they put it. Once they create a system, it works. It is not about daily working, it is not about additional job doing 8 hours, that is hard work. We are talking about smart work. In this smart work, the same principles of companies where they create an established system, and the systems take care, and the perennially, year after year, the companies earn money. The same system, if it applies to your personal life, you put the system one time, it earns you money. See, there is no hard and fast rule about it, but we are creating this system. We are not creating this system, we are making you create your own unique system, so that you don't worry about whatever happens in the world. If in a GFC or whatever it is, you got the skill that can be sold, anybody can buy. Once the pull-on effect, this is really great. In Australia, what happened when the GFC was having a problem everywhere, Europe uh, taken a route of conservation. They tried to uh, cut down expenditure. They went through the traditional method of saving the economies. It backfires. They shrunk the economy, so the all debt problems have gone into multifold. What we are saying is Europe, each country is going bankrupt. The other countries are trying to save, and they impose conditions for that country to save themselves after 100 years. They are just making their debts dearer by charging heavy interest rate. I mean, this is the way they operate. They can't think differently. United States is doing it differently. They create more debts. I mean, it's not also working. I mean, only sometimes they say it's working, sometimes it's not. They got a monopoly of US dollar, that as long as US dollar is the conversion currency, this thing will go. But if somebody thinks otherwise, it will change. So it it's not a solution. What we are talking about here is, in a small way, it can generate employment. What if you think yourself only as a unique skilled one and selling your service? What about buying from the others in your community? For example, okay, we talk about one particular very backward city, state in Tamil Nadu, Dharmapuri. I mean, economically, the government acknowledges it's a backward. In Dharmapuri, two or three college students put together, they put their unique skills there, and they encourage their parents also to put their unique skills, and they start to buy each other's product. So this is a Dharmapuri sector, Dharmapuri region of basic clear.com. From there, they put into another 350 websites, and they create opportunity to showcase this in eBay and Amazon and world over. So this particular community of 3 colleges and their parents and their well-wisher, they constitute totally about, I imagine, 20,000, 30,000 people in the in 1 year period. This community of 30,000 will, if they start to buy from each other, this is a revenue generation between that is not there. It is created. That money is self-created. That money can be spent. That money can be, so 30,000. What is the if it grows to for 1 lakh? So this 1 lakh or 30,000 people, they understood they can uh, they are useful to the society in a different way. They don't need to tap anybody's door about it. So once a person realizes his potential, you can't stop it. That's what happened to Indian IT sector when they understood their potential. So India is #1 in IT now. So same thing will happen to individualism in backward areas. So we will send out brochures to colleges, universities, um, universities, and even to communities. So you just respond. Where we take only few people, few students initially. There will be a small fees involved. We can conduct online video courses. Will send you details. Initially we'll take teachers as well, who can help you. So the course fees, whatever we are charging, will be split. So something good, may some portion go to the university colleges or universities, and some portion goes to the teachers, lecturers, professors who are in charge of it. They share some revenue, and the students initially who take that take the position, once they started to get revenue by imparting the knowledge to the other students, they also share some revenue. So it's a revenue generation model. It's win-win situation, because we are not trying to sell. So far the MLMs, everything, what it did was they are trying to sell, take up one product and try to sell it, products or service. It will backfire, because somebody is in control. We here, nobody is in control. You are in control. We thought about this. We are going to send you all information. Take this chance to help your community, but to help your community, you should not burden yourself. You don't spend your time. You spend only few minutes, few hours. If it is, if you have to spend a lot of hours, I won't even talk to you. We are not talking in terms of hard working, putting a lot of hours. We are talking only about smart working, not putting your work, but putting a system in place so that the system will work for you, not you. So if you believe system can work and anybody can earn revenue without hard work, come to us. If you believe in hard work, those people who worked hard, and they also did, but they couldn't advise the other people. The problem with that system was what we are, what we are working hard. When there are machines available, systems available, IT systems available, you can do anything in this world immediately. Where is the need for hard work? It's only smart work. By your efforts, imagine, by your efforts, you are emancipating the world. You can you can spread this and make so many people join this movement of uniqueness, who can get some kind of revenue that they they will ultimately discourage bigger players to try to try to misunderstand their needs. So because a corporate thinks you need this and they give it to you, but you don't know, you don't want that. But once the marketing person, they make an effort and they try to sell it to you and you got it. So that situation has changed in the last few years. After GFC, people are not going out to Spain. So what I'm trying to do is everybody will buy, everybody will sell within at least that kind of communities we are creating. This is a win-win situation. In Australia, I was just about to say that in US, it was different. In UK, Europe, it is different. But in Australia, what happened? When GFC happened, 3 times, at that time, Kevin Rudd was the prime minister. What he did was he just put money into each person's, I mean, family person's accounts. The first installment was about $950 or so. I mean, we take it as $1,000 roughly. 3 times he did it. He said the only prime minister in the entire world who said, just go out and spend it. People don't make money as cash. Go and buy whatever you want, return. Just this is what we are doing now, but without money. What we are trying to do is, you are unique, you got a money value. I'm telling everybody, you got a value, the other person has got a value. He just put it into money terms. That's what I'm trying to say. You are unique, put it a dollar term or a rupee term, and you just make others do the same thing. They put a value for whatever they can do, and when these things are put together as 10,000 or 100,000 or a million, and others within this community, at least if they try to buy and sell, what it gives is, it creates that kind of money. So money will not be given by somebody, you create it. Money is just a, imagine, money is mirage, money is just a maya. But by your efforts you can create. If you want money, everybody is after money because we need some services, we want food, we want houses, we want to educate our children. So that maya can create yourself because you are part and parcel of it. You got a value, you are the wealth, you are the wealth for you, not your house, not your job, not your anything else. You are your own wealth. So you are your wealth, you earn from that. So I'm trying to make you earn from your own wealth. That is your uniqueness. Thank you. I'll be sending this. Please, principals, directors of educational institutions, university professors, university vice chancellor, please help us in uh, this is help to your community. If you are not helping, I can't. I mean, you don't sit in the system. Please, please. I know you got a very good heart because the systems made us very rigid and they dragged us to the end of the cycle. It's happening there. We want to take a lesson from others' mistakes and go from there. We don't want to do the same mistake and wait for the economy to depress and go joblessness increase, and thereby we don't want to be caught in that cycle. We work towards enriching these countries. Please, not only in India, China, whatever country, professors listening to that, give us a call, talk to us at clear.com, send us messages. We'll create a live person there just for this student help. Clear.com. Clear.com is not the only one. Clear.com works with 320 Microsoft sites like that, and they work with eBay. I mean, they can put the entire effort through to help to make you achieve whatever is uniqueness, please help us. Thank you.